the Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset.
What's good, everybody, and welcome if it's your first time viewing, or welcome back if you're returning. I'm the Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine.
And together we are the Melanin Mindset. All right, so listen, go ahead and plug in wherever you can plug in, y'all. Starting with YouTube, The Melanin Mindset, as well as Facebook, The Melanin Mindset. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Melanin Mindset _, and good old TikTok at The Melanin Mindset. Now listen, if you have been looking at all at our social media in the past, Fran, a week, 2 weeks or so, you would know that you can literally be streaming right now, literally anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Okay, the Melanin Mindset is officially on air on your favorite podcast station. Now, we are coming to Apple Podcasts, just not yet, but we're literally everywhere else, okay? So make sure that you are tuned in. And if you're listening on the go right now to the Melanin Mindset on any of those streaming platforms where podcasts can be heard, thank you, and a special applause for you. All right, so friend, I did have a question for you before I let you do the thing that you do. It'll come back to me.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead, do that thing that you do.
Okay, so before we do that thing that we do, we gotta talk about this girl.
Oh Lord, Carly, honey.
Because it's just we need to address it.
Yeah, bring her on out to the front, honey.
So like, if you don't know, or maybe I should wait a little bit. Let's wait till a few more people.
You should. I think you should, because I feel like people will have opinions.
Yes. So we're continuing with our I'm Black and I'm Proud episode that we did, not last episode, but the episode before that, or was it?
No, it was last episode.
Was last episode? Okay. So we're part 2 because we did not get through. We had a lot to say, and we got a lot more to say. So we're going to continue on with this I'm Black and I'm Proud topic. So I think the last thing we were talking about was like the people who were perpetrating being Black and Proud.
We did. we talked about them, the people who were passing, but in the opposite sense of the word. And then the
opposite was yeah. So now we're gonna start with, we're talking about history and heritage. And another reason why Black people are proud is because we have a rich heritage, a rich cultural heritage, and that like nobody could copy us. Like, as hard as they try, it's just, we're just good at stuff.
Like, they can copy, right? They can copy, but they just cannot duplicate. Like, it's like you're trying to replicate a thing that you just don't possess.
Yeah.
Yes, that's facts. Big ones.
And then this statement also says, from the struggles of slavery and segregation to the achievements of the civil rights and beyond. And it was interesting that it had that struggles of slavery and segregation in the history and heritage of being Black, all amidst of the things that are going on in Florida education right now. Yeah, so they want to teach our kids that Black people benefited from slavery. Like, it wasn't all bad. There was some good that came out of it, like the skill set.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got valuable skills, right?
We had them valuable skills before you brought our tails over here.
That's why you brought our tails over here.
For our valuable skills.
Facts.
So, come on now.
And our work ethic and our desire to have better things.
It's just a joke. Every time I look at The Sanctimonious, I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know what. I just feel like Florida is an ex he's trying to get back at. Because you are running this state into the ground. Rolling Loud just happened this past weekend, and I don't know if you know what Rolling Loud is, but it's a collection of a bunch of hip-hop artists that they performed down in Miami. Rolling Loud has always been like so packed. Now, it was a lot of people out there, but not as many as I'm used to seeing. Not nearly as many people was out there as what Rolling Loud has brought to the back. Tourism is down in Florida. It's bad here.
So I've been seeing some.
Because they're trying to get rid of our rich heritage and history, and don't nobody want to come here.
I've been seeing some social media posts, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's an echo happening. There's an echo.
Oh, I don't hear it.
Yep, I'm getting feedback.
Okay.
Check. Better. Okay. So I've been seeing a lot of social media that has been showing like barren beaches and empty boardwalks in the
Mm-hmm.
it's where like your street shopping and stuff, that it's been like super duper empty. Is that like a reality
It
in
is such a
Miami?
reality. In all of Florida, it's such a reality. Because I don't even feel like even Orlando is as busy as it usually is.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hmm.
I was gonna say I don't think the echo's on YouTube.
Okay.
Just none of our areas are as busy as they used to be.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you Disney ticket price is still the same.
Still the same, probably more.
Mm,
They're gonna make that money one way or another.
that part.
But yeah, I
Listen,
mean, just from those things of you trying to single out minorities and change Black history, this whole state is about to go to crap.
yeah. And it's like I just recently read that apparently he's getting
Oh
a law
goodness.
passed. He's getting a law passed where a parent can sue a teacher or a school if they
Mm-hmm.
suspect that that teacher is encouraging or educating them on Black history. Did you watch what did they call Bel Air? Did you watch
I
Bel Air?
started to, but I didn't really finish it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. So there is a teacher. So Ashley comes back. The original Ashley, Tatiana
Mm-hmm.
Ali, she comes back and plays a teacher for little Ashley, the girl who's,
Mm-hmm.
on the new show. And what she ends up doing is Ashley has like this intrigue because, of course, she in Bel Air and she with all the preppy kids,
Mm-hmm.
those kids. And so with her being there surrounded by them, this one Black teacher comes in and she just sees her desire to know more about her culture. And
Yeah.
she introduced her to some books. And when she introduced her to some books, she's telling her best friend about how much she appreciates the books from this teacher and blah, blah, blah. Her best friend, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes and tells her mom, and her mom reports back to the school to complain
Oh
about this
wow.
teacher teaching this. And, Ashley gets fired. So now all the kids, well, of course, her name's not Ashley on the show,
Yeah, I know
but
what
she
you mean.
gets fired. And then all the kids like protest to bring her back, but with no success. So
Uh-huh.
it's like when I heard that, I'm not gonna lie, immediately my brain went to that scene of the show. And I was like, okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
A teacher could completely be fired just for showing a child a
Just
book
for
about Black history.
and a child showing interest. The teacher,
Right.
she didn't even teach it to the class based off of what you're saying. She just was letting her know, well, this is where you can find this information.
Yep, because the girl was reading through. Apparently, she was doing so well in class, blah, blah, blah. So she gave her the opportunity to learn more. You know what I mean? So if
Mm-hmm.
a teacher does that, be careful, teachers. Because if you do
Let
that,
me tell you, these teachers is finding other careers. They don't want to teach, or they teaching online because nobody wants to. No, that's crazy.
right.
Mm-mm.
Now, the funny point you made earlier when we were putting the notes back together, you were like the way the first couple of points come out, it's like they tried to get rid of us and can't understand why we didn't.
Yes, pretty
So
much.
our second point is resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Despite facing numerous obstacles and challenges, Black Americans have shown incredible resilience and strength in the face of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that so much adversity had to transpire.
Yeah.
Like so much had to happen. What does this say here?
Is it me or teachers slowly becoming COs? Yeah,
Facts.
very
And
much so.
COs, correctional officers.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Shoot, the teacher is becoming obsolete and the
That's the
children are going
whole
to be
thing about
facing.
talking about y'all up here trying to change the curriculum. Anybody got time to teach anyway because you up here fighting for your life.
That part. That part. You want them teachers to enforce unreasonable rules and then on top of that have obnoxious stipulations to deal with too.
Yeah.
That's bonkers to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of them
Bonkers.
just not having it.
And I mean, and this is not only for the melanated teachers. Non-melanated teachers is getting kicked in the head too over a
Yeah,
lot of this stuff that's taking
absolutely.
place. So just know it's not one-sided when it comes to that concern. Okay.
Mhm.
So diversity. Black Americans come from a wide range of Black backgrounds, cultures, experiences, making for a rich and diverse community. And
Yeah.
I see you put Jocelyn Hernandez down here, and we had talked about her the other day because, well, not the other day, a few episodes back,
Mhm.
about her identifying as Black. Like she says that she is Black, and it's like absolutely. If she did not speak, if she did
Yeah.
not move, if you didn't hear her accent, you look
Yeah.
at Jocelyn Hernandez and see a Black woman. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Very much so.
Absolutely.
And so the same things that any Black woman has to deal with for just existing, I'm pretty sure she has come across at one point or another. And even if after they found out that she wasn't 100% African American, like I could understand still feeling some type of way, like, dang, but you treated me like that just based off of how I look.
That part.
Yeah.
And sad to say, but that is something that we do deal with as a culture as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're looking at people's complexion and things like that to kind of categorize them, and that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
Nuts to me. So now we're getting up to the part that I really was passionate about, and I know you are too. So we got some formalities out of the way. Let's talk about creativity, because girl, we bomb when it comes to being
Let
creative.
me tell you,
I mean,
you're so
unmatched.
creative.
Unmatched.
And if creativity is genetic, it definitely shows. Like let's just think about, like, let's not even go back that far. Let's go back to slavery and think about the fact that, like, you were served crap and how delicious the food we make is in comparison to the other
Soul food
American.
is unmatched. Ooh,
Right?
wait a minute. I just said it and I remembered something that really disturbed me.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, you gonna tell me if I'm being wrong anyway. So I was on social media, the place where dark things happen, and there was
Tell
an
you to stop
Asian
spending so
lady.
much time there.
There was an Asian lady. Hey. And she said she was making soul food for her Asian parents. So, I think soul, because over there they have a country soul. And so I'm like,
I think I saw it too.
yeah, but she actually made collard greens, and it really did not sit right with me when they started explaining pot liquor. So when they started to explain what pot liquor was and then put the definition of pot liquor on the screen, I
I'm
was
so done.
tapped
I
out.
didn't watch I didn't
I
watch
had
the
to
whole thing.
swipe. I had to
I didn't
swipe.
watch the whole thing.
It was
All
something
I
about
saw
it
them
that
do
just
was
didn't
bite
sit
the
right with
chicken and eat
me.
the collard greens and go, and I was done.
Were they eating them with chopsticks?
Yes.
Yes. And then at the end, they take seaweed and put the collard greens inside of the seaweed and is eating it. And then he took kimchi and put kimchi on his cornbread. I was just like, it's a lot going on here. I'm done.
Oh wow.
I'm done.
I didn't
So
even finish it, but I know exactly what what reel
because
you
our
talking about.
algorithm is obnoxiously the same. But friend, so I want to pose that question as far as creativity and our style of doing things, and how you said they gave us scraps and we made soul food. How do you feel? Do you feel like soul food is unique to Black culture, or do you feel like soul food is still soul food no matter where you're from? Like anybody can do soul food.
Okay, I don't think I understand the question altogether.
You know how we talked cultural appropriation before?
Yeah, but I mean, cooking, unless you're trying to sell it.
So as long as it's just for in her
Because
house.
cultural appropriation is you financially gaining off of somebody else's.
Oh well, then that was
culture.
cultural appropriation, because that video was viral.
But she's not selling soul food.
So she would have to be selling the soul food, not just profiting off the fact that she made it to give it to her parents.
Yeah, no, she just was showing an experience.
Okay.
I don't find that to be cultural appropriation.
Okay.
Now, if she go on tour making everybody taste her soul food, I might have a problem. But just her feeding to her family and watching their reaction, no, I don't really think that's cultural appropriation.
Okay. So for creativity, Black Americans have had a significant contribution to art, music, literature, fashion, and other creative fields, showcasing their talent and innovation. So the first point you have on here is Cadillac Records. So I'm going to let you go ahead and elaborate on that.
Well, I don't remember why I put Cadillac Records. I asked you a question and you told me that was the name of the movie. What was the question I asked you?
You
Oh,
asked me.
I said, wasn't there a movie where it was showing how black artists had came up with certain songs, and then the white artists were the ones who were making the money and redoing the songs to sound, that was cultural appropriation at its best. And it was Cadillac, and I think it happened on Dreamgirls too, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah,
Cause when he got
got me
Cadillac
a
car,
Cadillac.
and he turned it into like a dance, like a slow waltz
It was a
song.
slow song,
Yeah. So the
yeah.
first song that we came across that kind of sparked a lot of the like what the heck, bro, is definitely Elvis. Who does not know Elvis Presley? And y'all are welcome to comment down below if there is any song that you know that we don't mention today, okay? So Elvis took Hound Dog from Willie Mae Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, killed the game with it.
Yeah.
And it was not his to kill the game with.
And it wasn't. And then when did we? I was getting ready to say. I have my brother believes Elvis does not exist. So I don't know if we could say he was cultural appropriating if we go by Stan's example that he's a myth. So whoever made him up would be the person who was culturally appropriating. If we go by Stan's, he's a myth.
I cannot deal.
But yeah, definitely just stole the style and everything. And was that the beginning of rock and roll?
I feel like they credit rock and roll more so to Little Richard and that group. So,
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's So that leads us to our next one,
of them,
Pat Boone. Right. So Pat Boone, of course, a artist, redid Little Richard's Tutti Frutti. Now, y'all, this was news to me. All right, because I had absolutely no clue that somebody had not only coveted Little Richard's song, but also turned and made more money on that song than Little Richard. And just FYI, did you know what Tutti Frutti originally said?
Yeah, I saw a clip of that.
And I saw where they broke it down and they were like, no, it was Tutti Frutti, good booty.
Good booty.
Yeah. And so
good
Pat Boone, I hope you knew that when you took the song, okay? But Pat's version reached higher heights and on the charts than Little Richard's Tutti Frutti version.
And what's funny about this is that, like we both just said, like I didn't even know that. Like we're so rich in a lot of us, not everybody, because that's a whole nother episode where the black people who think if it ain't white, it ain't right.
Oh, write it down, friend. Write it down.
For the most part, we are so involved and indulged in our culture that we don't care. We don't pay attention to what they're doing. So that's why we didn't know nothing about Pat Boone, because we weren't listening to that. We was listening to Little Richard. And I realized that one time when all that stuff was going on with Monique, and I remember being at work and all the melanated people was together talking about, oh yeah, this is what I think, and then one of our two of our non-melanated coworkers came over and would say, who's Monique? And I was floored. I was like, you don't know the Queen of Comedy? Like, you don't know Monique? Who doesn't know Monique? And they had no idea who Monique is. Check this. My daughter's best friend is Jewish. She didn't know who Beyonce was. And I was like, really? She said, I don't know. And she felt so bad. She was like, is it bad that I don't know who this is? I said, no, but don't say it out loud. Because we were at a dance recital. We were at not a dance recital. We was at the showcase. Because my kids are dancers. They had a showcase. And that little girl sat there next to me and she said, I don't know who this is either. She didn't know who Nicki Minaj was. She didn't know who Beyonce was. I said, girl, how you don't know who Beyonce is? I felt like we crossed lines. Maybe not all the way
then. Friend, the next song on the list is the Kingsmen versus Richard Berry. All right. So Richard Berry had a song called Louie Louie, and the Kingsmen took it and redid it. Fun fact: when the Kingsmen took the song Louie Louie and did it over, their drummer dropped the sticks during them playing during the recording, and he dropped the F bomb when he dropped the
Mm-hmm.
sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So back in that era, when that song was recorded, it was a big no-no to swear in the song.
Okay.
So they were investigated by the FBI, and the FBI dropped it saying, "Oh no, we don't hear it," when it was evident that the F bomb was dropped. So that was basically saying that if it would have been that way,
What?
yes, if it was done that way and it was a black artist, then they know that black artist would have been in jail because they released that
Oh.
song, but because they were able to get through, you know
They
what I
said,
mean?
"Oh no, we don't hear it."
They
Interesting.
ain't hear it and they dropped it. Yeah.
Mm.
So the next one that I know is a really popular song is Bob Marley's "I Shot the Sheriff." Like, if
Mm.
you don't know Bob Marley's "I Shot the Sheriff," I have no clue what rock you or your parents lived under.
Well,
However, Eric Clapton not only took it and did it over, he took it, did it over, and landed himself a spot in the Grammy Hall of Fame.
mm.
Bruh.
I didn't know that.
Bruh. Landed
Well, then
himself a
see,
spot.
why don't we know that?
Because we're so focused on the fact that "I Shot the Sheriff" was by Bob Marley, that
Yeah.
we over there, Eric was able to go ahead and creep behind us while we was bopping the Bob. Yeah.
Mm.
And then this last one that's on the list, it kind of crushed me a little bit because I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that it was a black artist who originally did this song. You know the movie Coneheads?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a group called Soft Cell, and the song is called Tainted Love. The
Mm-hmm.
original artist was Gloria Jones. And when she released it back in 1964, it flopped. But in 1981, Soft Cell remade it and released it, and it topped and took out the charts.
Wow.
That's the song that's like, "Sometimes I feel I've got to run away." Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even the rhythm,
Interesting.
girl. You need to look up the original one by Gloria, honey. And hers is a bop too. So I don't understand. But I know that song best from Coneheads. I know that song best from Coneheads when they were riding in the car headed down to the shopping center, and the dad was in the car and he was playing the song in the car. He's like, ah, ah. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the one I know the best. But they stole Cadillac car from Eddie Murphy on Dreamgirls. Facts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did. They took Cadillac car.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the other genres of music that we're absolutely responsible for curating, which we probably don't get enough credit for, is the
Or any
blues,
at all.
jazz, gospel, R&B, funk, soul, hip hop, reggae, Afro beats, and y'all know we invented rock and roll, so don't even.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all of those genres of music were inspired by our culture and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, those are things that we did. So, friend, before we go though, talking about inspired by our culture, the people, I hope y'all remember from week to week, but just in case you forgot, we are brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel, y'all. And that means that our listeners receive 15% off on all items, on clearance included. All right. So stay tuned with us and we'll be right back, y'all. What's good, Mindset family? The Melanin Mindset is thrilled to announce we are the newest brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Dianu Apparel is a black-owned apparel company that offers trendy African-inspired prints in each and every garment. They're offering our listeners 15% off their purchases just by using promo code Melanin Mindset. There's something for him, there's something for her, and there's even something for the kids. So head right over to dianu.com using the description link down below, or just simply enter Melanin Mindset at checkout and save today. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us, and we are back, okay? So like I said before, we went 15% off when you use promo code Melanin Mindset, or click the link down in our description box below if you're viewing us on YouTube or if you're viewing us on Facebook, okay? So you should be able to click that link down below and shop Dianu and save today. All right, so
new pieces, friend, too.
Oh, friend, I do need to do a new Dianu haul, and I'm going to take some
real
pictures.
cute dress I want.
Yes, because of course, friend, you know we've got you and Mr. Jimmy right here. Period. Right. Yes. Cute. Dianu. Period. And of course, we've got good old Nick and Naya because they, we have been giving Nick and Naya they shine, and we took them down last week. And we can't be, because Naya went ahead and sent in her Melanin Mindset shirt too. Because I'm just saying, y'all give it up one time for Lanaya, okay? One time for the one time, because when I say that girl is a Melanin Mindset supporter, okay, support her. Thank you. So listen, we've got a new segment that's coming to the Melanin Mindset where we're going to be answering your questions with our wonderful opinions. So if you like an opinion, but without everyone being in your business, go ahead and submit your MF and questions to the Melanin Mindset, and you will be seeing very soon your questions being answered. So it can be submitted on the melaninmindset.com down in that content or contact box, or you can submit to the Melanin Mindset, Melanated Mindset at gmail.com. But please know we take DMs as well. So go ahead and get your questions submitted, and you can be connected with the Melanin Mindset today. And the last thing that I put up each and every week, y'all, become an official MFer by scanning the QR code right here or clicking the link down there in that chat. You should see a link on Facebook as well as out on YouTube, and you can get your Melanin Mindset MF and t-shirt. Whew, so friend, that was a lot. So now that we've gotten that all out of the way, we are going to go ahead and keep going and talk about that sense of community, because Black Americans often share a strong sense of community and support for one another, creating a powerful network of solidarity. And friend, I see your comment and I agree. So go ahead.
Because one of my things, what I thought about is like, this is definitely something that makes Black people proud, is when we do have a strong sense of community. But something that always saddens me is like when we don't. It's like when you choose to have a good sense of community, like let it be a party with a theme, and we all got to wear pink. Y'all there. Let it be a community event. It's an all white event. Bring your own bottle. The brothers and sisters is showing up, but let it be a fundraiser or let something at the church or feeding the homeless. It's like you gotta pull teeth to come get people to come out and do those type of events. But let it be twerking involved. We there. Make sure we wore the right pants and everything so the twerk be right.
Girl, I did not know where that comment was going. Y'all, on our notes, she literally has twerking versus fundraising. How do you know where that's going? Okay? I had no idea where that was headed. I was like, twerking, she'll explain. But yeah, that's a fact though. If it's something to do with us cutting up and acting out and showing off, we are there. And I mean, we'll turn our pockets inside out to buy a ticket to be there. Show.
To get the ticket, to get the right outfit, to do this, to do that.
Right. We using Afterpay, we using Klarna, we using whatever we can come up with to get our fit right, just so we can be in the place. But they ask you to donate $1 a day. Not even $1 a day. What was it? It's like 20 cents a day to feed a kid in Africa. You know what I mean? But you can't do that because that's a lot of money. It's gonna add up.
That's a lot of money. That's
a lot of money. So that is an absolute fact. I think our priorities are skewed. And we really need to reconnect when it comes to that.
And also, we need to not be deterred when community functions or community efforts don't yield the result we thought they were going to. For example, Carly Russell.
Honey. Now it's time to bring her to the front of the stage. Go on and I went to commercial early for this point. So go ahead.
Let's talk about it. So if you don't know, like I said, if you don't know, Carly Russell went missing, was it the 19th this month?
Girl, I'm going to confirm. Keep talking.
Okay, sometime last week, the girl went missing. And when I say the community showed up and showed out, everybody was posting, everybody was sharing, everybody was getting on, talking about, we need to find her, bring her home, we need y'all to go out. Don't just sit on this, right? Because it's a bad... the number of Black women that are getting killed and going missing is astronomical right now. And the actions that need to be done to prevent it are just lacking. So this girl said she called 911 and she said it was a baby running down the road.
Yo, number one, let me say this real fast. It was July 13th, Ren. I did put that
Okay, it
down there
was
for
July
you.
13th.
July
Okay.
13th. And yes, she said at the social media, the internet is undefeated because I have seen so many versions. I have seen somebody put Lil Baby on the side of the road. I've seen somebody put Da Baby on the side of the
I'm
road.
so
I have seen
done.
the baby from Lil Man on the side of the road.
Oh my
You
God.
all are undefeated when it comes to doing things on the internet. Continue.
So she said she saw a baby running down the road and she called 911. By the time the police got there just was an abandoned car and a wig. I just remember them saying something about a wig. So she's gone. Influencers, celebrities, Viola Davis even posted about we need to find Carly Russell. Da 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 da. Fast forward a couple days later, Carly comes home. She seems disheveled or whatever, and they asked to respect the time, let her come across. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to tell the whole story. Y'all can look it up. But anyway, the girl lied. The chief of police today came out and said, basically the attorney that gave a statement, it was not true, and blah blah blah. So we have this division amongst our community now, because you have those of us that are just like, oh my God, that was so stupid, why would you do that? But then you have those of us that are like, no, she needs to pay, she needs to go to jail, she needs to do this. Like, okay, come on, y'all. So she came up with a dumb idea that didn't quite pan out the way she expected.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I don't think she should do time, because I think about all the horrible things that non-melanated people have done, and they have served no time at all, 0 time at all. Because actually, the only law she broke was calling, and I don't even know, is that a law? She called 911 and it wasn't an emergency. How many people do that? A lot of people do call 911, just not knowing that certain things you're supposed to just call the sheriff office for, or the local police department. So she called 911 for a non-emergency and she lied. Okay.
Bruh, homegirl looked up the movie Taken. That's the piece that took me out.
She watched the movie Taken. She looked up whether an Amber Alert costs money, because I guess she was going to put out an Amber Alert for a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
You could, child, it was a mess. But at the same time, I feel like our community was very quick. Not everybody, but a lot of people in our community were very quick to persecute this woman.
Right. And that ties into the point that's coming after that, because Black people are very spiritual. Mm-hmm. On social media, far too many of you all, and yes, I'm going to say you all, because I'm sure some of you all may be viewing or listening. Mm-hmm. But you all like, oh, I prayed, I wasted my prayers. No, you didn't. Mm-mm. Because you prayed that she would come home. You didn't pray why she would come home, how she would come home, the reason she would come home, the condition she would come home in. Yeah. You just prayed that she would come home.
Like, bring her home.
She came home.
And she came home.
I'm sorry.
Did she do something very dumb? Yes. Yes,
but she came home.
Have many of us done things really dumb? Pretty sure you have.
For real. Now the story. Go ahead. Mm-mm. The story that they're saying she was hiding with her 17-year-old boyfriend or baby daddy, that part of the story, I feel like shouldn't have even been part of the story.
And it wasn't. If you just listening to the chief of police, none of that was included in there.
Yeah, that part. And then the other guy, her boyfriend, coming out to clarify. Yeah, he just state, like, I did enjoy the press conference. Well, I'm not going to say enjoy. I was kind of ashamed for her. But the press conference, I feel like, gave the most clarity on the situation. So sometimes it's important. I know the media can be
the most non-biased clarity.
Yeah, sometimes it's like,
information.
But he looked choked up. He looked so choked up when he was trying to say it. He felt like, why am I reading this stupid stuff? But yeah, so your prayers weren't wasted, because homegirl did come home.
I'm talking about all the prayers messed up her plans. I'm not doing this with you, Ganjapo.
Listen, my family is very much so rooted and grounded in the spirit. And so with that, it's like, bruh, that is big facts. Like they done, all the saints done suck God on this girl, and now here she done had to come back out. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, come on now, let's think about it. Well, Barbecue Becky, y'all ain't put Barbecue Becky in jail.
Right. And then the other lady who called when the guy was just bird watching.
Or the
Yeah.
lady, I don't care how old she was when she finally admitted it. I believe she should have been thrown
The
under
woman
the
from
cell.
Emmett
The
Till, she
woman who
dead now.
admitted that she lied about Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she died.
So if they ain't put her under the jail, y'all leave Carly alone.
That part. Carly ain't do nothing but have you reconnect with God, and you needed that anyhow.
Yeah,
So
and stop with the you're setting us back years. Maybe if y'all change that language, that's all in your mind. That is definitely a mental curse that we just keep repeating. Is that we setting back and that we behind? We're not. It's a mindset. It's definitely a mindset. You think you behind? Guess where you are.
behind. Big facts.
But moving along.
So many Black Americans find strength and inspiration in their spiritual practices, which have been an important part of their cultural heritage for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
So faith is definitely a tie that binds in Black culture, and it doesn't matter what way you connect with your spirit. It is sincerely a Black cultural thing.
Yeah.
Because like whether you believe in connecting back with your ancestors, whether you connect with God, whether you connect with the earth, the planet.
Let me tell you, Black people are
However,
more spiritual
that's
people.
spiritual.
They're gonna find spirituality in something. If they decide today, I don't want to be Christian, they're gonna be Muslim. Or I don't want to be Muslim, we're gonna do
but
something.
I bet you they're gonna report back to somebody.
They can't get rid of. It's almost like it's embedded in us. We can't get rid of that spirituality. It's definitely embedded in us.
Whole facts, entire facts. And it's like with no matter what dynamic, like I was saying before, no matter what dynamic you come from, there's something. You've got some connection somehow. So let's see what we've got going on here in the chat because, oh Lord, let's see. And I didn't pre-read, so forgive me in advance.
The messed up thing about this whole shouldn't was, I don't know what shouldn't was supposed to say, was a lot of people was hoping that she ended up dead and messed up. Yeah, it definitely seemed like it.
That's how it felt.
Seemed like it. It definitely felt, because once everybody realized she came home, it was almost like y'all was upset. Because as soon as they were like, she came home, like, oh, she was lying. Like, dang. Okay, we did find out she was lying, but I don't think that was
we eventually found out she was lying. But this is hours after she showed up. Not even hours. Like the girl showed up and then
not Jimmy answering. No one asked why she did it. Mental health. Child, mental health about to get a bad rap too. They about to blame everything on mental health.
Oh man, what type of mental health? Lord, we need to bring Torian back. Jesus, have his analysis of this situation and see what he thinks.
Situation.
That would be cool. So, family and traditions, and y'all, I told you last week that I was going to a family reunion over the weekend. So, family and traditions in our culture and why we are proud. Family and tradition plays a central role in many Black American communities, providing a strong sense of identity and connection to the past. Y'all, I have a cousin that is 100 years old. She was at this family reunion with us. I like the things she said, the clarity she speaks with. And not only that, but she gets around and she danced with us, y'all. You know how every family you need to cook out, you got the line dancing and stuff. Homegirl scooted up there with her scooter, let go of that scooter and started shaking them hips, y'all. I should have uploaded the clip so I could have shared that with y'all. But yeah, she started shaking her hips. And then, of course, Spirit, we left off on Sunday in service at church. But I was able to experience a group of my family that I've never before in my life met. I met my grandmother's side of the family, and as far as culture is concerned, they are, I'm sure on my dad's side, whatever their story may be too, but I learned that apparently my so three greats, grandmother was a slave. I learned the story, her story. I learned the love story of her and Emmanuel. And then I also learned the story of his parents. So we got to sit in a room full of people who descended all the way down from the first set of children born free in my family. That was probably the most impactful family reunion. Like, I learned so much. It was crazy. But the worrisome thing is, who still knows this information And how valuable is this information to our current generation? And
Mm.
our family reunions going to become a thing of the past? And that's the thing that worries me when I started to think about family reunions in our culture and why I'm so proud
Yeah.
to be who I am. It's like, who knows this information? And I watched the work my cousin did to get this information.
Mm-hmm.
Who's willing to do that much research?
And the other thing, like what you just said, like our family reunions become a thing of the past. And I don't know, somehow I ended up down this hole in TikTok, my algorithm, where you see all these people who have been hurt by their mother or their father. And with this whole mental health thing, it's like,
Protect my peace.
protect my peace. I don't have to talk to my mama if she's not, those things. But what's gonna happen, like, you have to be careful. Like right now it's just trendy. Like, oh, my mama says something I don't like, cut her off. But you're gonna lose that, like what you said, with your history, because you decided to stop talking to your mama when you was 19. Or
Right.
you cut out your family and decided to go run away and live your life in your 20s. And it's not gonna be until you have children who ask certain questions. Because let me tell you, them other folks, they know. They know who their grandma is, the great grandma, the great grandfather. They know where they came from. We don't. The only thing we have is each other to tell each other. So if you cut that off, I mean, you won't know. Now, I'm not saying you should stay in a toxic relationship with a parent or anything like that, but stay connected in your family the best way you can.
Right.
You know?
Even if it means you show up at that family reunion to get that history.
Yeah.
Get the history and take it back to your family, take it back to your children. Because I'm telling you, that rich history is a tie that bonds. It just
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, friend, like, just knowing the things that were accomplished, knowing the things that have been seen, and experiencing the feelings in the room when certain stories were shared. It was just a lot. It was great.
Yeah.
It
I've
was
only
really great.
been to I want that I remember. I've only been to one family reunion. And the family reunion I was at, I want to say, was it my grandmother's? I feel like it was my grandmother's. So, in all actuality, this particular grandmother is of no blood relation to me.
Wow.
So, even still, but it was just amazing to me to see, like, there's all these people in one place and we're all related. Like, that was cool. Because in my head, I only had them 4 cousins I hung out with every other weekend. But then to see, like, no, like, your family is really large. And like, yeah.
Yeah. And I had a moment, that aha moment that I had. My uncle said that the one thing about his great grandma that was the biggest deal to him is she made a bomb sweet potato pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "What?" He said his great grandma made a bomb sweet potato pie. And I mean, couldn't nobody match her sweet potato pie. And then I had a somber moment
Yeah.
because my grandmother taught me how to make sweet potato pie.
Mm-hmm.
And when she taught me how to make sweet potato pie, she said it was her grandmother's recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing in my brain ever connected
Connected it until then.
until when he said that. That thing warmed my heart so much. I was like, wait a minute. So, wait a minute. The grandmother's recipe
Mm-hmm.
was your great, that's bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really sat with me. I know it sounds crazy, but it really sat with me like, dang, bro.
Like, you're still doing things now that were put into your family
That
centuries
many
ago or decades
generations
ago. Yeah,
ago. Yeah.
generations ago. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Not
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous in a bad way. Like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. Family and traditions. Oh, wait. It's a couple things in here we missed. This is not a Netflix special or something streaming. This is real life, and I'm happy she came back home. Oh, we missed
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, facts. I'm thrilled the girl came back home. Because if she was fronting, it's something the matter, and it's something that she needs help. Family and
Mm-hmm.
tradition keeps us woke, aware,
Mm-hmm.
knowing about where we come from, and that is beautiful. Yes, it gives that pride. That, like, when I say black and proud, like, I
Mm-hmm.
sincerely mean I'm black and I am proud, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, I am black and I am proud.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I looked up because my husband came to the door, girl.
I was like,
So
what's she looking at? I'm looking at, because I got it playing over here, so you just did it again on the other screen.
like,
I'm so done.
yeah. So let's talk.
Education and achievement.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to run down this one, girl, because if not, we can go on for hours on this conversation. So, Black Americans have made a significant stride in education and achievement, breaking down barriers and achieving success in a wide range of fields. The thing that concerns me the most about this list is the gaps in time between the accomplishments that were considered substantially notable in our history.
But that's because this is our history as written by others.
Right.
Yeah. So the gaps in time are probably things that significantly happened within our community, but because it wasn't what they considered mainstream, it's not really talked about. What's this say? 80% down to 27% Black marriages. I wish you had a timestamp of what you're saying. Black women are 80% overweight, 80% fatherless, most in debt, least married, riddled with STDs. The Welfare Act in 1965, 38% of pregnancies aborted, over 50% in New York. Yeah, just with the time, you can see how much stuff has changed. And I do feel like a lot of it has to do with us losing our sense of pride.
Facts. Whole facts. So, you want to dive into this list? The first thing on the list is the Emancipation Proclamation, y'all. Yes, we took it all the way back. Issued in 1863, freeing slaves from the Confederate States during the American Civil War. I would like to point out that comes up as a notable point in Black accomplishments. And I feel like that came up that way only because of what they have done to the school systems just recently. That is not a Black accomplishment. That was a realization moment. Okay, that was definitely not a Black accomplishment.
A couple of these are not accomplishments.
They are not. But I left them. I left them here. It's just the thing is
stuff that finally happened to us that shouldn't have been that way anyway.
That part.
So I guess the accomplishment was whoever got up there and fought for these things to actually be put into action. So
they only did it for
I guess that could be considered an achievement.
They did
but
it for
the Emancipation Proclamation. That's a whole nother episode too.
That part. 1870.
They only freed the slaves so that they could fight in the war.
Right.
It wasn't because they felt as though they should be free. They ran out of people. They needed some more people. They needed some more soldiers.
Facts. And they wanted to give people something to be proud about. They wanted them to be proud to be here, which means that they would be able to go fight. They would go fight willingly, Yeah. So there's that. 1870, go ahead.
In 1870, the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified, granting African American men the right to vote.
Right, but shortly thereafter, they were being executed for going to vote. But hey,
and then all the rigmarole to try to vote.
Yeah,
like they had those ridiculous tests that nobody could freaking pass. So they still weren't voting, and that's still a trickle-down effect is why most of us don't feel as though our vote counts.
Facts. 1954, the landmark Supreme Court Brown versus Board of Education declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional. Pause. 1954. How many years ago was that, friend?
69.
Facts.
69 years ago. So anybody
we could go to school where we wanted to go.
Who was in elementary school, anybody who's 70 or older remembers segregation.
Facts.
Because even though that was when the Supreme Court case let it go, certain states still had segregation. So anybody 70 or older was definitely alive. Definitely. So it's probably still some younger, depending on where you live, was definitely alive during the times when there was segregation, where there was Black only bathrooms, white only water fountains, and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat on Montgomery, Alabama bus in 1955 sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and became a symbol of the civil rights movement. Again, because they made that. These facts are depressing to me. I'm sorry.
That's
The
a fact.
Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed racial discrimination in employment, education, and public accommodations. That was a good one.
Pause. 1964. I just want to really bring attention to the years that this is transpiring,
Yeah,
so that
like,
it can just
that
be
was
real
not
to
that
y'all
long
for a
ago.
second. Right. Then we have in 1965 the Voting Rights Act was passed, protecting the voting rights of African Americans and ending discriminatory voting practices. In other words, it became illegal in 1965 for people to lynch black people for voting.
No, so wait.
Friend.
So in 19, when was the year they got the vote?
1965. Oh wait, originally
Mm-hmm.
1870.
1870.
So from
1870
1870 to
to
1965
1965 was when they decided to stop discriminating.
and
So
stop
it was
killing
legal,
us
but
for
we
trying
still
to
was
vote.
going to discriminate.
And it was only black men. Remember, they only allowed black men to vote then. And then on top of that, they had to pass tests.
Exactly. Became the first African American elected in the Congress in 1968.
Wait.
And then, okay, from 68, the next achievement isn't until 2008. Barack Obama became the first African American president of the United States.
But wait, friend, did you realize that in 1965 they passed the Voting Rights Act to protect black people's ability to vote? But then just only 3 years after we were allowed to vote, we got somebody black in there. Why? Because they said, you let us vote, we're going to put somebody in there who look like us, bro.
Yeah.
So we need to enact that same power.
You do see that voting worked. Yeah.
We need to enact that same power. That's the thing. We don't realize how it took them 3 years to get that black person in there, but they got her in there. Mm-hmm. So if we were to put our force that we have now and the power and persuasion we have now into action, bruh. 2008, like you said, Barack Obama became the first African-American president of the United States. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, known as the Hidden Figures. Now, the movie came out, but that took place years before. I wish I had in the 1960s.
Oh, yeah. When they were when it happened was in the 60s.
Yeah. But it came to light after Barack Obama was president. Mm-hmm. And then in 2020, we got Kamala Harris elected as the first African-American South Asian female vice president of the United States. So, yeah.
Do you notice how anytime somebody of color gets in, they have to say, like, all of their ethnicities? It can't just be the first African-American black.
They don't say white Irish.
You got to be what you mixed with and who else is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't say the white Irish guy or
they
white
also
Canadian.
Don't say the white guy, but
facts. Oh, friend, that's heavy.
So role models, because it's a default. Because it's a default, we just assume.
That's an episode. We got a couple of them. I'm gonna have to watch this playback myself so that I can get all of these gems that we have this episode. Role models. Black Americans produced many inspiring role models and leaders, from civil rights activists to athletes and entertainers. Cancel culture.
Yes, because it made me think about, like, we do have a lot of role models, but the minute a role model do something that we don't like as a community, they just canceled all the way around. But
facts.
The offense or something that they did negative doesn't negate what they did positive. Facts. Like it's not algebra. The negative canceling out the positive, like and then the whole cancel culture and just canceling people the moment they do. I got somebody said something this weekend and she might end up canceled.
Just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that was a rabbit hole that I didn't need to go down, and I did.
Yeah, it was like the first. I don't think I watched the whole thing. As soon as she started talking, I said, she shouldn't have did this. As soon as she started talking, because there are certain arguments that are circulating out there that I just don't understand why they're even arguments. I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, why are we having this argument? the thing about it is that we need to start treating all humans as humans. We need to start leading with love instead of hate first. Like, but all of the little details and all of the putting people in little boxes and like, just, it don't matter. Like, a lot of times, and that's why social media, I can't stand it, because as soon as they start talking about something like you trying to prove a point that this is what it is, I'm done. Because I'm telling you, like, I could be this today and I'll be something different tomorrow, so I don't got time.
And if y'all didn't see the 1 year celebration, go watch it. She definitely could be one thing today and something else tomorrow.
That part.
But yes, that's whole facts. I feel like we spend way too much time focused on minding other people's business, and if we all took a big dose of stay in your lane, I think we'd be doing great. Yep, that part. So you said with role models. So y'all, the month of August is coming up, and we want to do a challenge. Okay, we want to do the Tabitha Brown challenge. So probably what now, friend? Like 4 months ago, I cut out meat entirely from my diet. I
You
feel
said
amazing.
4 months? It has not been 4 months.
How long has it been? 3 months?
I don't think it's been that long. I think it's been more like 6 to 8 weeks.
No, it really hasn't.
Really? Okay.
But
it's you.
I cut
you
out
did it, not me.
that part. But anywho, no, but I cut out meat, so I do feel great. I feel awesome about it, but I want to take it a step further, and I know also an opportunity for us to take a step toward healthier eating and just getting connected to the stuff that's going in your body. So we want to do like the Tabitha Brown challenge, and she has a book. And friend, I have my book right here. And do you have yours handy?
It's across the room.
Y'all too connect on social media. Yeah. No, you can go ahead and do that.
Oh, so Tabitha Brown, she was in, I think her original trade was an actress, and she had a couple small roles. You know, if you start watching old episodes and stuff, you'll see her in there as like some of the extras and whatnot in certain shows. But she fell ill. She got sick, and I don't necessarily know what. I want to say
she had
fibromyalgia.
She had migraines.
Yeah, like the migraines and the body aches and pains that she just couldn't get rid of, and they would try to diagnose it. I don't even think she ever got an actual official diagnosis, but she decided, she got her family together and she said, "This is what we're gonna try to do." She said, "We're gonna try this vegan challenge. We're gonna eat 30 days of only vegan food." And I believe within a couple weeks, she started to feel improvement. By the end of the 30 days, her pain was gone. Her migraines were gone. She was feeling 100% better. So she decided to keep on doing that. You know, I think her husband still eats meat, but she is still 100% vegan. Don't quote me on that. I don't know, but I think so. I know when she first came on.
I feel like on her podcast, her husband made a comment that he doesn't eat meat at all either. But she did say her kids, she's like, if her kids eat a piece of chicken, she ain't frowning at them.
Yeah, but I just remember early on when they hit the 30 days, he was like, all right, well,
yeah,
you can keep doing that, but I need some chicken. But so her story is definitely inspiring, especially because she was able to turn her health completely around just by changing what she ate. So for the month of August, we are doing what we are coining as hashtag the Tabitha Brown challenge, because I don't think it's a thing. Girl, just hashtag just hilarious. And you'll see what she said, girl.
Wait, somebody
asked what did Jess say.
Oh, no, that's not our business to tell. We want to stay online.
Yeah.
But if you're on TikTok, go on TikTok and look up Just Hilarious. Just Hilarious. If you just search Just Hilarious.
I'm pretty sure if you search her, you'll start to see what people are saying. But yeah, she went on a little tangent about I forgot what it was. Well, yeah, no, she just should have shut up. Anyway. But yeah, so we want you guys to join us for the Tabitha Brown challenge. I think a great way for you guys to join us would be on our Facebook page and share at least one vegan meal that you eat a week. Like, just for us, we're going to do it completely vegan the whole 31 days of August. But if you would like to join us or share on our social media, on our Instagram or our Facebook, and let us know what you tried that was vegan. And Tabitha Brown has recipes all over her website, all over the internet. Search Tabitha Brown, and you will find out who Tabitha Brown is really quick.
Yep. Even if you just go on YouTube, you will find an awesome recipe to supplement. And even if you just try it, like she said, once or twice, a couple of times, share it. Tag the Melanin Mindset, hashtag Tabitha Brown Challenge. And we want to see it. And we'll be doing a special event, friend. We're going to go live cooking one of those meals. So,
I think we're gonna go live a couple of times, so just look out for it.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll go live a couple of times. So look out for it.
Look out for us. Look out for us. Probably TikTok or Instagram, but look out for us.
Mm-hmm. So, y'all, above all, Black Americans are proud of their heritage and identity, and we celebrate our culture and history in a way that inspires others and fosters a sense of pride and belonging. So, as you leave today's episode, we want you to make sure that you leave with your head held high. We did share with you all some of the concerns, some of the issues, some of the things that's going on in our culture, and I'm sure that can be upsetting because I know as we prepared for this episode and last episode, it was kind of disheartening some of the things that came up. So we want to encourage you to be proud. Take that sense of pride with you and be sure to share a story with your children and continue to encourage your families to stay close, stay connected, and stay rooted and grounded in what our culture is so well known for. We absolutely love you all. Friend, do you have anything else to share with the people?
No, stay black.
Period. Well, y'all, listen, we'll see y'all next week. We out here.